Welcome to the Ultimate Property Management Virtual Masterclass brought to you by Real Estate Investor. This is day 2 of our 2-day virtual masterclass, which is officially sponsored by WeconnectU, developers of intelligent property management software to enable you to scale and deliver more value to your clients. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Neil Peterson. I'm the founder and editor-in-chief of Real Estate Investor. And we've been serving the South African residential and commercial real estate industry for almost 14 years now through our digital magazine, live events, online content, videos, podcasts, and webinars with insights, education, expert tips, and investment opportunities for newbie and savvy investors, home buyers, landlords, developers, and for all of you, the property professionals and practitioners in the industry. And I'm really excited and honored to be your host and moderator for this virtual masterclass today about and really bringing the whole concept of tech together. And his topic is key considerations when deciding on the ultimate tech ecosystem for your business. So welcome back, Johann. Johann?
Neil, thank you very much. Thank you for the speakers in front of me. Yes, Aniki definitely scared all of us. So hopefully I can maybe calm us all a little bit down as we head towards the end of this masterclass with hopefully some really tangible tips after the 2 days of a lot of tech talk, especially yesterday, different solutions being presented. And, how do you as a property manager go about decide to put together the ultimate ecosystem for your business? So I would like to start by saying, well, if you as a property management business would like to continue to be relevant, competitive, and profitable, there's no doubt that you would potentially need a combination of tools to help you achieve that going forward. I think over the last 12 months, for those of you who have not been on an online solution, meaning like Grant referred to earlier, you potentially had a solution that is server-based or office-based. I think we've all realized that that is something of the past, and you have to build something that is cloud-based, online available, that will help you to build a sustainable and efficient business. Now, ideally, the sum of the software solutions or platforms that you are using should start creating this integrated ecosystem that directly supports your workflows. Now, let's then quickly just unpack this word called ecosystem. What does it mean for you guys? And let's maybe start by saying, what is it not? Okay. So in property management, one of the fundamental and most important roles we fulfill is the account of financial management of our clients' rental property or community. So what is a integrated ecosystem not? Well, if you have an account management system, which I am sure most of you do have or must have, we do also or know of some clients that are still using Excel to do this, for which I have a lot of respect for. But most clients have some way to manage the accounts. But then you might have a separate independent platform where you do your communication to your clients with or through. You might have a completely separate or sometimes even manual way to manage your leases. You might have a separate independent system doing area or default management or reporting, and another separate independent system where you conduct your credit checks, and another independent system where you do or manage your compliance. Now, I've just mentioned a couple of other workflows that you guys must do on a daily basis to manage your property, manage your business as a whole. And as you guys can see here, this is not an ecosystem. This is a group of almost silo platforms that potentially some of you are using to manage your world. Now, again, not as a criticism, this has been the history where usually platforms haven't spoken to each other. They've been developed to communicate very well, but they didn't really tie into the full value offering or your workflow that you're responsible for. So you've been opting of trying to solve these challenges, let's say communication, trying to solve the communication battle or challenge in your business, opted in for some software solution that enables you to try to address that, but ultimately this doesn't form part of this whole kind of ecosystem you're trying to put together. And you are actually just building a group of silos, and it's physically impossible to build an efficient environment and a scalable environment for your business if this is more or less how your environment is looking at the moment. So the question then is, how do I start to build my ultimate property management ecosystem? Well, there's a lot of things one can go through, especially some tech jargon. I'm going to break it down into three simple questions you have to ask yourself, and hopefully that will guide you to decide on the perfect ecosystem for your business. The first question is, what is my biggest internal challenges? Now, as a property manager myself in the past, I have to say, when we were managing properties, we said, well, there's a lot of challenges, but if we had to group them, if we really kind of think about like on a global level, what are the biggest challenges that we were struggling with? We summarized them in the following four major challenges. Compliancy, if I can use an example, all those FICA documentation that Aniki just referred to. Do I have a way to easily manage this in my world? Compliance, it could also be, am I sending, as Sean alluded to, my tenant that lease renewal terms between at 80-40 rule? Or it could be just, am I processing the financial information as required according to my mandate, for instance, recovering utilities within my monthly period as specified by my mandate? Secondly, manageability. As you guys all know, that rentals or portfolio management has got quite a few moving parts, and ideally you would like to have a solution that enables you to manage and measure and then manage this slightly better. Thirdly, scalability. I think it's undoubtedly that property management businesses are not that profitable when they're small. So profitability only really kicks in if you scale effectively. Scaling, however, doesn't mean managing more property. It means managing more property with the same size core team or the same overheads. Now, obviously, if you're going to scale effectively, you should be more profitable, but ideally, your solution or solutions should ideally help you to unlock the most value from your business. So first question, make sure you understand your biggest internal challenges that you would like to solve with the software ecosystem you're trying to put together to build the efficiencies in your business. Secondly, ask the question to yourself, what is my core workflow as a property manager? So let's maybe use the example of a rental portfolio manager, and let's look at the core pillars that this business is built on. So obviously, you've got to start by doing a tenant application process, doing a credit check being part of the process. So your solution should ideally somehow help you to address this aspect of your business or your workflow. Secondly, probably the most important thing is you should have a really intelligent account management solution within your ecosystem that helps you to efficiently and ideally in an automated way manage your accounts. Thirdly, Grant also referred to this, is lease management. Everything that you start basically doing starts the day that you've got an active lease that comes into play. So if you don't have lease management that ties in, for instance, with your account management, you definitely do not have the ideal ecosystem. And then unfortunately or fortunately, if you are in rental portfolio management, you will always be responsible for inspections as by law and the maintenance management that typically flows from it. So at the core of a rental portfolio's workflow, these four areas are typically the core pillars that your business is based on. And you should ideally look for a solution that are covering these four aspects in one integrated ecosystem. Now, the third question that I would like to address is, so what other ancillary solutions can help me then be more efficient or deliver more value to my clients? Now, if this is the core, so we're sticking with the four core pillars, what other things can I hopefully pull into this ecosystem or this platform that ultimately will help me to be more efficient internally and help me to communicate or deliver more value to my clients? So there are a host. I'm going to just maybe highlight four. So the first one is communication. As you all know, that management goes along with communication. So the more and more, how easy you can, or the more effective and how easy it is to regularly communicate with your clients in a professional manner is a critical element or aspect to have in your ecosystem. So it should form part of the same solution in principle. Secondly is bank integration. Grant also referred to this as one of those non-negotiables. In the rental account management, it's almost impossible to deliver on our clients, the investors' core need, which is in the ideal world, I would like my money in my bank on the first of the month before all my debit orders of my bonds goes off. It's impossible to achieve that or get close to that if you are not bank integrated. So the bank and the receipting and payments space are definitely allowing you to integrate and enable you to automate or at least make that process 10 times more efficient. Thirdly, if we all bought into the concept of asset management, there's got to be some way to integrate valuations. So some way to get purchase prices or current market valuations by a press of a button. Otherwise, that could also be, again, a tedious manual task you potentially have to do going forward. Some of you, or maybe most of you, are also doing community management. And in the ideal world, if you are managing a community, you typically are managing 1 of 5 units inside that community. So wouldn't it be great if the landlord or homeowner, the billing and the property address can seamlessly communicate with my rental solution from where I potentially pay his utilities or his levy from? So these are just a few. Some others that I can mention is the area management and compliance management, and so I can carry on. But let's look at the core workflow that you are busy with and have to address on a monthly basis. Choose, firstly, an end-to-end solution that addresses your core pillars. That's the first thing. Secondly, then go out and see, well, looking at the ancillary environment or products or solutions out in the market, what can help me to become more efficient and deliver more value to my client? And does my solution enable me to integrate with that or unlock the efficiencies through seamless integration with those platforms or solutions? As you all know, the property management business is an efficiency-driven industry where scale can drastically affect profitability. So the more you can do in one solution or in one platform, without a doubt, the more profitable you should be. So the ultimate property management ecosystem should then ultimately offer a cloud-based end-to-end solution that addresses the core workflow as a primary objective. And then secondary, it should be able to integrate with ancillary solutions to further develop efficiencies in your market. This is referred to as the ultimate, or at least a property management ecosystem. Now, if you are able to unlock this ecosystem, one of the amazing benefits of an ecosystem, meaning a platform, ideally an end-to-end platform, that potentially integrate with other ancillary solutions, there's one massive advantage, or many, but one main one I would like to highlight, and that's the benefit of automation. So automation is that critical ingredient in making your business as efficient as physically possible. And the key ingredient is helping you to build a scalable business. Scalable meaning I'm managing a lot more properties with the same size core team, and as I always joke, without the wheels buckling at month end. So how do we maybe explain this automation, for instance, in the rental portfolio management space? Let's look maybe at the payment or transactional workflow automation that is possible because of an ecosystem. So let's assume that's your trust account. If your solution is bank integrated, it should get a daily or at least or on the minute feed from the bank, giving you indication of money arriving in the bank and obviously payments that has been made from the bank. So let's just take the example, the tenant has paid his money in on the 31st, it should arrive in your bank typically on the 1st. If the money arrives in the bank and the system is integrated with the bank, your system should be able to automatically map that payment to the tenant account. In the ideal world, your system should be clever enough to know precisely how much money is lying in the trust account of the tenant, for example, know precisely what that amount is made up of, know precisely what the tenant is due for in the system from his account perspective, know precisely how that amount is made up of, and the priorities of these different categories, meaning what you get paid first, second, third, and fourth. The system then should ideally be clever enough to be able to allocate or split that amount, depending on the outstanding amounts, be able to create the payment instruction and pay all third parties. I know that's a scary thought, but pay third parties without anybody lifting a finger. So this, just as one example from a motivation point of view, is possible if you have a property management ecosystem that's integrated with, let's say, a bank in this case, or ancillary solutions to help you to enable or unlock automation and ultimately these amazing efficiencies in your business. So if you would like to solve the biggest challenges within your business, I'm pretty confident to say to you today, first start by choosing an end-to-end solution, and then start building your end-to-end ecosystem. This will enable you to start unlocking efficiencies through this unbelievable thing called automation that the technology is allowing us to create for you. This will help you to create transparency, not only internally among departments, which will again help significantly with efficiencies, but also potentially between yourself and your clients. This ecosystem should and ideally help or assist you to unlock the most value from your business, not only because of scalability. It should and ideally enable you to reposition you or yourself in the eyes of your clients. And lastly, communicate and report in an intelligent way that the clients can ultimately perceive your value based on what you're actually contributing to managing his portfolio or managing his asset. So in a nutshell, I think the industry is changing, and you can change your business one solution at a time by making the right choices and starting with your customer and the customer experience and working your way back to choosing the right ecosystem for your business. And that's my last slide. Thank you very much.
So thank you for that. Some great insights there, and there's lots of questions that have been posed.